Here because we have an agree to disagree that we need to sign. Is that correct? This is our new conference.
So do you agree or disagree with that statement?
So we are here again. Is there anything in particular that needs to be addressed in this new conference?
We don't believe so. Sorry, you can call.
Representative Stockstill.
Yeah.
Okay, and it indicates as their primary source, correct? Okay, that was taken with the language from the Department of Education. So it's simply codifying into law the policy that the Department of Education has taken by the State Board of Education. So I guess we don't, the Senate position would be we support, and this is a reflection of our support of action that the State Board of Education took. And it's something that we anticipate we'll continue to see in the future with the blueprint component as new items come up with the formation of that task force, that committee. Then the Board of Regents will be taking action. State Board of Education will probably be passing some items. And this is an opportunity for one group or another to take the lead and the others follow. So it's a early reflection of that collaboration and respect for the work that was done.
My concern is that next year somebody may come back and say, I don't like that history book. And I think we ought to get rid of it. And that ought to be the decision of the legislature. And I think that is a disastrous position for public education. And they're going to say, we take out that history book because we set that precedent last year when we decided that they could not use these textbooks and these instructional materials to do the literacy stuff that's in this bill. And that's if you can figure out some way that cannot happen in future years, I'd be all for it. But I don't want to set a precedent where the legislature can dictate what books and instructional materials can be used in the future.
We feel comfortable with a position that is in keeping with the science of reading and with structured literacy. And that is not something new. It's not something newfangled where we found this old book or a new book and we just don't like it anymore, but it is in keeping with science and research. And, the interesting thing is when you look at the reports that the Board of Regents put out and also the Dyslexia Task Force, they identified research that had been collated and had put together, and it was from the year 2000. So here we are in 2024, and we're finally acknowledging and codifying what was out there in 2000. So I don't see that that it does anything other than help school districts if next year is a new purchase cycle for elementary reading materials. They won't be making purchases of items that are non-compliant.
Well, again, it's just my position that this takes authority away from our local school boards to make those kinds of decisions. The legislature is saying we're going to put this into law that you cannot use these kinds of textbooks or other materials. And if you could say, if you could put in there and say that we recommend, or that this is the decision of the local school boards to make those decisions on how to implement this literacy program, that would be fine. But when you tell local school boards they have to do something when they're elected to make those decisions, and I I don't think I could get around that.
I would simply say, I'm fully aware of the responsibilities of an elected board since I served on one for 18 years. It's the recommendation from administration for the board to approve those purchases. So this is really giving specific direction to administration. Boards can approve, can disapprove, but this is giving direct guidance to the boots on the ground, the teachers and the faculty member, or the faculty members and administrators. And did we just find an error in language or a revision that needs to be made? Technical? We don't know yet. Okay. So we'll take a pause right there. Sure we get corrected that it's after rather than before. Representative Estes?
I just wanted to make a point of clarification that this doesn't prohibit them. It just prohibits them as primary. There's a subtle difference there.
Right. Were there other aspects that you wanted to address? That's it. Okay.
My continuing concern is that we're setting precedent to that the legislature dictates textbooks and instructional materials. This is right here, on or before July 2025. No school district shall use any textbooks or instructional materials that. And I think that sets a very dangerous precedent for our local school boards.
Respectfully noted. Do we have something that we need to address that you have? Do we need to take any action on the correction that needs to occur? We do give you permission for that. Are there any other issues that need to be brought up? Okay, so I think we're back at the point where we need to sign some agree to disagree paperwork. Is that correct? This is signing the report. And let's get that done. Thank you.